Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ, and I'm here with my brother Tim. And once again, we are the Yinzer Bros. Today's podcast is the Steelers-Washington's pregame show. The 11-0 Steelers take on the 4-7 Washington football team. They're so bad, they don't even have a mascot right now, Tim. They're so bad. But we do know this. Washington's won their last two games. Tim is here. For those of you that can't see him, he's wearing quite a colorful ensemble. Colorful hat,
about?
Nice shirt. Well, you're wearing like a tie-dye like ball cap.
I mean, this is you know how hard it was for me to find. We went this hat is sold out everywhere. You go on eBay, there's $100 hat.
Is it really?
I lucked out. I didn't spend $100 for it. I would never spend $100 for a stupid hat.
So when did you get the hat?
I got it day before Thanksgiving. I guess when it got sent to me. I mean, I got lucky because it was sold out immediately for the crucial cancer thingy. And then I mysteriously went and checked one day and it was back in stock and it sold out probably within the hour.
Good night. Tim, that's good. Tim is good at finding those deals and stuff. So that's good.
When I want something, I get something.
That's true. You do. You're very committed like that. I like that.
When I want something, I get something.
Tim, what are you eating? What is that?
Little Culver's ice cream.
I miss Culver's. Their custard's fantastic.
I'm nervous eating. I'm not nervous eating. My body's tired. This is third day in a row we're doing a podcast because of this stupid schedule.
Hey, the Steelers are working it. They don't get a break. We don't get a break.
I feel you.
So we're here doing another podcast. We did one yesterday, but we're committed to the fans. All 12 fans that we have, we're committed.
I'm saying, if these 12 fans care that I'm eating ice cream on their podcast, so be it. I really don't care.
They don't care. In fact, I think they support you. I think they celebrate you, Tim.
There you go.
And the man that you're growing into.
I know. They better support me when they're knocking down my living room wall and they got to crane me out of my house.
Oh boy. So the Steelers are at it again. I was listening to press boy, they got no love at all from any of the guys, any of the sports world, but that's okay. Hey, so let's talk about Washington before we start talking about anything else. What are your initial thoughts about the game this week against Washington?
I don't know, dude. I mean, Washington's had 4 years to rest. Who knows? I mean, Alex Smith's leg might actually be healthy at this point. Who knows? I have no idea. I know they got. Chase Young's very good. He scares me. He's like a Miles Garrett looking fella.
Mm-hmm.
The running back seems okay. They got a couple good receivers.
Gibbons or whatever his name is. That his name?
I don't know. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah,
he's running back. 24. All they are is gray faces to me, as Mike Tomlin would say. 24. Gray nameless faces. That's what he calls it.
That's right. Well, we know this about Washington. I mean, let's just be real. They're not very good.
I mean, but again, it's like the NFC East is on primetime again. I don't even know how they fell into it, but they're still on primetime again.
They're always on primetime. The Cowboys could go defeated every year, and they're still going to be on primetime.
You figure the NFC East, because you're going to play Monday, the Steelers, and then Tuesday the Ravens are playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, just awful.
You guys see that garbage? You guys see that garbage 2 days in a row?
It's like a dumpster fire. It's absolutely terrible. It's Washington's not very good. I mean, I know they won their last two games, but I think they beat the Bengals and the Cowboys.
Tough team. Bengals a tough team.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you were a little nervous about. No, you weren't nervous about the Bengals at all, were you?
No, everybody else was. Oh, Joe Burrow, get terrible Steelers. No, Steelers took foot, put it in rear end, and twisted it sideways, and it's permanently still up there. Next question.
Yeah. So we know this. Washington's defense is stout.
It's okay.
They're a top 5 defense. Okay. Their offense is terrible. They got a running back. Alex Smith is, he's a shadow of what he used to be.
I mean, you cover the checkdowns if you cover the back coming out of the backfield, you should win this game because Alex Smith is the check down king.
Yeah, no, he is. You're right. It's interesting too because I think that everybody's kind of talking about those trap games, and I don't believe this is going to be a trap game for the Steelers because I know the Steelers didn't lose last game, but it seemed like a loss against the Ravens, and then you add Dupree to that.
Yeah, but
Um,
the thing that gets me nervous is the rest factor, TJ. They do
mhm,
not have a lot of rest. I mean, and Washington's sitting back since what, Thanksgiving?
mhm.
Is that, no, that's not right. They had
They,
to play
they've had about 10 days, I think. That's what it'll be.
Thursday, so they didn't play. Well, yeah, they've got to. I mean, it's a long time to be resting, man. Uh, Especially got a team coming off what, 4 days. That's going to be a
Mhm.
tough. If this was on the road, I'd be a lot more scared. But since it's at home, as long as Mike Tomlin's bringing stupid kickers in come Sunday or Saturday, it'll be all
You
right.
know what's funny though? I think this I kind of view the Steelers right now kind of like they're almost like a wounded animal. I mean, you lost Dupree, but they have a nastiness to them. I've never heard Tomlin. I mean, Tomlin's had his moments, but he's always kind of kept it together. He was very
TJ,
distraught.
I mean, come on, TJ. Have you? Don't give me that crap. I can throw. I could play I could play the clip. Was it? I don't know. 7 years ago when they were going to unleash hell in December and went 1-6 the rest of the year.
I think there's something different about them. I think that they again I will have to see what the loss of Dupree looks like, but I think it's going to be a good game for the Steelers. I'm not nervous about Washington at all.
A little
I'm
nerve
just
in me.
not.
There's a little nerve in me. There's a there. Timmy's got that head in got that voice in the back of his head going chirp 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 chirp. Tomlin game. Tomlin game.
Tim lives in his fears. He does. Let's talk about the Steelers offense. What do you think the offense has to do to beat Washington?
Run the freaking ball. Will you
I,
run the ball? Please run the ball. Run the ball.
well,
Run it.
let's just be real. I don't think the Steelers. I don't think they have a makeup team to just
TJ,
pound it.
force it. You have to force it. Sometimes you have to force it. Force it. Force the run. Force it. TJ, a team like Washington, I hate to say it, they got two end dudes, Sweat and Chase Young. If Ben goes back and throws it 50 times, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. You have to run the ball. Run
Well,
the ball.
I hope they can.
There's a mysterious, if you want a stat, go look at Benny Snell's numbers if he gets 11 or more touches as it progresses in the game. Look at his yards per carry when he hits that around 11 carry mark. It goes from like 3.7 to almost 6 yards a carry.
Really?
Yeah. That's a fun fact. But when you something at a party, go. I could be making this. I could be 100% making this up.
I'm sure you are.
I don't think I am. No, I'm serious. It's a fact. It's a fact. Go look at it. When he gets 11 carries plus, look at his yards per carries before that compared to after that. It is astonishing. I'm going, okay. And it made sense. In that Raven game, he got to the around that 10. I think he only had like, 13 carries of that.
Mm-hmm.
Those like last 3 or 4 carries, was getting like 10 yards of clip.
He was. You got. I agree. You got to run him.
You got to force the run. You can't have Ben back there throwing 50 times. 50 times, you can't do it. You can't,
Yeah.
against this team, he's going to get killed.
Now he does. I mean, his release is ridiculous, which is great. I mean,
And I
but
don't
you're right.
understand.
He still
To me,
gets
it's
hit
like,
though.
I don't understand how anybody's like, if I'm any offense, all I'm doing is playing that team man and just jamming them as hard as I can at the line of scrimmage and bump them off all their routes. And I understand they're going to their bunches a lot of time. It's tough to do that, but you can still kind of do that. If you take that away, make Ben hold the ball and he'll throw some idiotic pass like he did to James Washington. Luckily, he has James Washington has hands like lobsters. He's
He did well. He did well. So what do you think? What do you think? So you just run the ball. That's your key to victory.
To me, this is a run the ball, play action game.
Mm-hmm.
Run the ball, play action. It's been very weird because also I saw something else too. Is I think the past couple games, 2 or 3 games, Ben's throwing stats are. He hasn't had anything deep in the middle of the field in about 3 games. All of his deep stuff's been on the outside, which is very bizarre. Because Ben, I always remember Ben hitting them 15, 20-yard dig-ins that, and they haven't been there like the past three games. For him throwing almost like 40, 50 times a game, and that passing merit, it's just weird to me. So to me, that tells me they haven't been running because they haven't been able to run the ball. You haven't had any play action to bring up those linebackers to do that. To me, run the ball, play some play action game, keep Ben in that 25 to 30 range. 30s to me is even high. Win the game.
I think if they can get Ben into the 30s, if he stays in the 30s, I'd be happy. I don't think they're going to dial it back that much. I do think too. I think that Benny Snell had a good game. I think he looked there. There were flashes of the old Benny Snell. I don't think he was running scared. I don't think he was running like he was going to fumble the ball. I'm interested to see how he looks with Connor this week because I'm guessing we'll get Connor back.
I don't think so, man. 10 days. What did he go out the same day too, dude? Yeah. No, because he didn't. No, he did not. Tua was out earlier than him, man. He went out.
Oh, you're right. Tua was first, and he was right after him. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gonna take that 10 days. I don't think he's playing this week. I think he's out another week.
Oh.
I hope so because I picked up Benny Snell in fantasy, and I am hardened right now I'm hanging on for dear life.
No, I think they'll be pretty good. I think they're gonna keep rolling here. I'm interested to see. I'd love to see Washington get a little bit more field time.
I am done calling him watching. He has hands like lobsters, just big claws. Lobster hand. My God.
Lobster, yeah, that's pretty
What's the guy from Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob? Is that his name?
Yeah, Mr. Krabs, yeah.
Mr. Crab Hands. That's his new name, Mr. Crab Hands.
Boy, I tell you, he is great for combat catches. He's fantastic. So who's your player to watch? Who's your Steeler player to watch on the offense?
Ben Roethlisberger when he throws it 47 to 50 times. No. You know what? This is gonna. No, I'm not even gonna say it because he's on my crap list. I pick Eric Ebron. Seems like every week. I'm gonna say it's a juju game. This to me, this feels like a. If everything what I'm saying, I think they should do the play action hit. To me, the tip of my tongue was actually Vance McDonald, which was bananas that I was even thinking that. But I'm going to say Juju. I think he's going to be the one kind of work in the middle. If they're going to do the running, little play action, get them 30 yards, I think Juju's going to have a big game.
Yeah, he likes to get in there. I like he digs it out. I'm gonna double that with you. I think Juju's going to have a big game. I do, and I'm going to make a brash call because they're a good defense. We're going to have our first 100-yard rusher we've had in a long time. I think Snell goes for, a buck 5, something like that.
I hope so, man. Yeah. Every time I see McFarland in the game too, it's just me. Like I get that feeling every time he touches the ball, he's really close to breaking one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just me seeing that. It's just like he gets it, and you're like, man, there's just one more dude he has to kind of get away from, and he's lights out. I mean, I saw him catch that one ball on his like little wheel pass. He caught that, and that dude can fly, man.
Yeah. I think he's getting comfortable with NFL speed and stuff. You're right. I think he's progression. I do think he's getting better. So we'll see. Let's flip over to the defense. What do you think the defense needs to do to beat the Washington football team?
I mean, beat the crap out of Alex Smith. He has one leg. The dude has one leg. I mean, stop the run and make him if he has to drop back 50 times, if he has to drop back 5 times on that leg, eventually that leg is going to give out.
That's terrible.
It's terrible to say, but I think it's going to give out at some point. I mean, again, that dude's wearing a sleeve on his leg like when he's not playing football, when he's just out. When he's out at a barbecue and he's in his backyard, he's got
he's got those compression sleeves. Remember, Mom used to have those when she had her leg issues.
Yeah, Mom had no hip. She had to get a shot in her hip like every week.
She did.
To me, it's like, the only thing I can think of, he has the whole entire world full that is actually a prosthetic leg, and somebody has like one of them. Like the remote control cars you play with as he's stepping back, because if he has to drop back 50 times, dude, there's nothing left in that knee. It's going to fall off.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not built to do that. Even when he was healthy, I mean, he's at best a game manager at best.
I mean, it's going to fall off. It has to fall off.
So
The one thing that
what?
makes me nervous is this.
Uh,
Truthfully, I mean, you lost Bud and all that. Yeah, it sucks. It stinks. I also hear the Nelson went in for an MRI today.
he did. He did.
That gets me a little bit nervous. Nelson, like I've said it time and time before, I think Nelson is their. I, I think he's one of the best corners in the league that nobody talks about. I just do.
I agree.
No, you ever hear Nelson getting burned?
No,
They're never passing over. That gets me a little nervous. So I don't know. I kind of want to see how practice progresses because if I got to watch 31 out there, Justin Lane. The only reason why I'm leaning on the arrows going down on the Justin Lane thing is every defensive back the Steelers have ever drafted sucks.
You're right. We just don't pick them.
And they drafted him in the second round.
Who was the last great? Who was the last great defensive back that they drafted, other than Polamalu?
I thought Ike Taylor was good. Ike was good. Couldn't catch for anything. He'd paddle for hands, but he was good.
Yeah.
I mean, put it this way. Cowher drafted a couple here and there. They had a couple of decent ones. Mike Tomlin has drafted 0 defensive backs.
Yeah.
In the Tomlin era, there hasn't been one. I mean, there hasn't been one good one, period. And he cut his teeth on being a defensive back coach in the league. That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't understand. Who was Cowher's best defensive back that he drafted, do you think?
Chad Scott? Ike? Ike was pretty good, man. Ike gave you, 10, 12 years? It wasn't bad. Chad Scott was pretty good. Serviceable. Golly, dude, you're asking me to remember some of the people from Bill Cowher's years, and my brain is just
trying to remember.
My brain. If people looked in my brain right now, all you would see is probably like meat stew. That's what my brain.
I'm trying to remember. Was Carnell Lake? Was he a Cowher guy, or was he a Knoll guy?
I think he was a Cowher guy.
Yeah, because I think Woodson was the end of. I think Woodson was a Knoll guy. I don't think he was a Cowher guy.
Yeah, Woodson was definitely an old guy.
Yeah, he was an oldster. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. So who do you think is the? I mean, now Bud's gone. I think now. I love did you hear what Tomlin said about somebody asked him a question. They said, now that Bud's out there, is this going to really hamper Watt, because now Watt has to do stuff by himself, and he was like, Watt needs no help from anybody. No. He said he can do whatever he wants. No. That's not a factor at all.
No, I didn't. No, I would, and I've always made that statement. Bud got really good the past 2 years. TJ Watt was drafted 2 years ago. Do I find that as a weird quinky dink? No, I love Bud, and he's been great these past couple of years. But like I said, he hasn't gotten good till they had TJ Watt. And if you're a superstar, that shouldn't happen.
You're right.
It shouldn't happen.
And let's be real. The Steelers drafted Highsmith for one purpose, to replace Bud Dupree.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. I think they drafted Highsmith in case of something like this happening.
Mm-hmm.
It would not shock me next year in the draft that they take an outside linebacker with their first pick.
Well, they could. Yeah, they could.
I'm telling you, unless Highsmith comes in and he is just an animal the rest of the year, I would be willing to put all my money in the middle of the pot to say they will be drafting an outside linebacker with their first pick, because if they don't have 2 good outside linebackers, that defense is not functioning.
No, you're right.
You're going to sign TJ Watt to a large. He's going to be the highest paid defensive player in the league. So you're going to have him locked down for 5 years. If you can get another one in the first round and have him going for 5 years, and when TJ Watt gets older, it's either you say, hey, take your cut, and that's what's going to happen. Highsmith he's good. They draft him in the 4th round, but there's guys in the reason where you draft them in the first round because they're pedigree. And that's what I think is going to happen next year. If Highsmith comes on and he just tears, I don't see it. But if he's like, they will draft an outside linebacker with their first pick.
Well, what if he comes out here and he gets about the same production that Bud gets? Does that make
you
your
will
bud
see.
stop go down? Does that make him drop?
Yeah, you think, TJ? Makes the. I'm one of the only. You know me. He's had a good couple years. Before that, Bud was not my guy.
No, you were not a bud guy.
I was not a Bud guy. He's been great, and I said, yeah, hands up, he's been great. But I still, because of TJ Watt, he's been good. It should have taken him 4 years to be good, and that common denominator is TJ Watt.
Yeah, I agree.
So losing Bud, yeah, it sucks for now, but I don't know. I mean, Highsmith could come in and be like, wow, this dude is amazing. Do I think they should go out and get somebody for depth because you have a Daney and you think you have Elliott in the practice squad? Yeah. Would I go out and look at a veteran? Yeah. Would I go out and look at a Clay Matthews or a Cameron Wake just for this stretch run? Yeah. Clay Matthews last year, he had 8 sacks.
Yeah, and I don't think he's with anybody right now.
He's not with anybody. He's just chilling. You can get him for nothing. Let him come in the stretch run. Let him be a sub. Basically, pull what Cowher did with Kevin Green. Rush the quarterback. That's all I want you to do is rush the quarterback. Bring him in to just rush the quarter because he can't cover. He sucks against the run, but he can rush the quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. But yeah. What the hell do I know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So who's your defensive player to watch?
I think Tuitt is going to be a hellraiser next game because he has had his layoff, and I think he is going to be foaming at the mouth this game. So I'm saying Tuitt is going to be a disruptive force against Washington.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they can keep that keep the sides pinched in and that middle collapses on Smith, he's not going to have anywhere to go. Yeah, like you said, he's about as mobile as a post.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk like that. I got bad knees. My knees are better than Alex Smith's knees.
Oh yeah.
I mean, by
and that's
far.
Saying a lot.
I mean, by far. Yeah. I mean, by a lot. Alex Smith's probably massaging his knees right now in baby milk or something right now just to get through the week.
He might be. I think I'm going to pull out a name.
If you say Terrell Edmonds, I'm going to run through that locker room and clothesline you and say the standard is definitely not the standard.
I think Mike Hilton's going to have a game.
I keep forgetting about him. He might have a good game. You're right.
I think he's going to have a game.
Because I have a feeling they're going to blitz him. They're going to run blitz him 9,000 times.
They are, because Alex isn't going to beat you. Again, I don't see him throwing the ball. He's never been a deep ball passer. I think they're going to just come after him. And I think they have an edge right now. And I shouldn't say an edge. They have a nastiness to them. I think they're wounded, and I think they got something to prove. Now, again, whether they can put the money on the table is going to be, is yet to be seen. But I can tell you this: if they show up at this game nasty, upset, and they kick Washington around,
they're not going to get any pub or any respect unless they go up to Buffalo. And I'm not talking just barely beat Buffalo, smack Buffalo right in the mouth and pound them. That's when everybody be like, wait a second, let's take a step back and be like, let's re-examine this. If they go down there and they do that, this Washington game, they could beat them by 100. People are like, whatever. They got to go to Buffalo and they got to kick Buffalo's teeth in. And then, I really don't care what any of these guys say. You're 12-0. We may be the crappiest 12-0 team ever. Who cares? We're 12-0. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Guess what? Who cares? I do want to see. I want to see when Patrick Mahomes gets smacked by TJ Watt. I just want to see it. And I want to see that defensive line go after Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's saying it's driving me bananas. Steelers haven't beat anybody. Who has KC beaten? They've beaten the Raiders, they've beaten Tampa, and they've beaten Seattle.
That's it. Because their division is awful.
They beat Baltimore. I'm sorry. They did. They smacked Baltimore in the mouth. But I mean, but when you look at the teams that people are like over 500, again, I threw you that stat. The Steelers are, I think it goes New Orleans. I think KC and the Steelers are tied for the same amount of teams they beat that are over 500. What do you want them to do?
Yeah.
I mean, they smacked Cleveland in the mouth when they were at full strength. And people are saying Cleveland's great now. I don't know what you want them to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm with you. I think I don't try to please anybody too. I think you're right. I don't think we're going to get any respect. I think we just keep winning, and that's fine with me. I don't care. So I'm going to go with my defensive player to watch, Mike Hilton. Let's open up the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It is when you, the fan, get to ask us questions. The Yinzer Bros, anything about the Steelers or anything else. If you have a question, you can send it to yinzerbros@gmail.com. Email it. And again, if you're lucky enough, you might get your question brought up on the show. We got to bring this up because it's just hysterical. Today, everything was all a buzz, and I think it goes with our first question. Is there any truth to the Steelers possibly signing James Harrison? If you don't know, today, James Harrison released, was on his Instagram, or whatever it was, him being at the, where was he at? He was at Dr.
Bradley's office.
Dr. Bradley's office.
The orthopedic for Steelers.
He's in Pittsburgh doing his thing. Mm-hmm. And apparently he's made peace with the Steelers.
There's no way. I mean, there's no way, TJ. There's no way. He's 42. He's older than me.
But have you seen his shape?
TJ, I get it. He's in incredible shape, but he's got to have low T. Everybody loses it at 40.
Well, they got creams for that, Tim. What cream are you using?
I take a pill.
It's not even a real pill. You take an Amazon pill, don't you?
It may have a bull on there that has horns like a devil.
I mean, you talking about? I still think Harrison could set the edge.
Dude, he's 42 years old.
Dude, he's stout.
I understand, but like Tom Brady, I get your quarterback. Have you ever heard of like a positional player that's 42 playing?
That's exceptional. It is.
TJ, that's banana land, dude. That's banana land.
His size, his leverage point, he's a problem for those big tackles.
I would he's 42, TJ.
He's strong. He knows the system. Who knows?
TJ, to get your body ready at 42 to play
I just saw a video
in the National Football League?
I just saw another video of him, like a recent video. He looks like somebody chiseled him out of marble.
So do I.
Well, yeah, technically you could be anything.
I look like I'm chiseled out of marble.
So I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the.
There's no way, dude. There's no way. It can't be, dude. I mean, come on, really.
40. If he's like 45, I'd say no. 42, maybe.
TJ, 42. Think about that. That is 2 years older than me, and I can't do anything.
Well, let's just be real. When did you lose the ability to throw a football, Tim? How old were you? Tim was a QB in high school. When did you lose the ability to throw a 5-yard pass?
This was probably.
How old were you?
I don't know. I'd say probably early 30s.
Like 32, 31.
I had a lifting accident, man. It's never healed.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
You leave me alone. Let me eat my ice cream and shut up.
Here's another one. It says, are there any other players that the Steelers can get to replace Bud? We talked about this a little bit. Clay Matthews, your guy. I mean, I think if he's not doing anything, here'd be my question: is Clay? Is he in shape, or is he just?
Oh, dude, all the Matthews take steroids, so he's fine.
That's true. What about Vic Beasley? Now he's on the practice squad for the Raiders.
I don't think he's on the practice squad.
He is on the practice squad.
No way. There's no way Vic Beasley's on the practice squad for the Raiders.
He's on the practice squad for the Raiders.
I would snag him up in 4 seconds. I'd be like, put your hand in the dirt and go kill somebody.
He's on the practice squad for the Raiders.
No, really?
Him up. Yes.
They bring him up?
They added him to the practice squad the last week in November. So I mean, he could be up in the last 3 days.
But is he still there?
I don't know.
I don't think he's. I thought he's activated. I think he's got to be on the 53.
I don't know.
There's no way. He's Vic Beasley.
He got released twice already.
That tells you something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's. I don't know. Maybe just eat some ice cream. They'll be fine. Give us a guy to eat.
Is there anybody else you can see the Steelers going after?
Cameron Wake.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. I couldn't understand you. There's chocolate flying out of your mouth. So where's he at?
On the street.
Just doing nothing.
Yeah, but that dude's he's like when you talk like freaks of like body freaks, he's like a Harrison, but he's like 5 years younger.
I don't know.
I just don't know if he's I don't know if he's meant to play as an outside linebacker. He may be one of those hands in the dirt outside type of dudes. But if it's me, it's Clay Matthews just makes sense, man. He's played 3-4s wherever he's went.
Mm-hmm.
He's he can. I think he could beat like TJ's getting all the. I think he could it. Put this way, he got 8 sacks when he was with LA last year. Mm-hmm. Aaron Donald was getting he gets his fair share of doubles and triples or whatever. TJ's gonna get that. If he's getting 8 sacks, I think he can, with our scheme, I think he can get you have him join the rest of the year to get you 5 sacks the rest of the year. I'd be very happy with him, man.
I'm with it. If they can pull it off, I'm worth it. I think it's worth it. I think until then, I mean, obviously we'll be kind of internal with it. We'll see what happens. It says this, how many players of the Steelers when they lost to COVID will be back against Washington? So we had the big 3. We lost Tuitt, Connor, and actually we lost 4 because we lost Pouncey and we lost Hawkins. Who's that? Who's the lineman?
No, because Chooks was playing.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he played. I was stunned to see him.
Okay. So you said we get Tuitt back. What about Connor?
Back. I'm not sure about Connor. Pouncey, no. I 100% don't get Pouncey back. But I thought I got to figure out when Connor was. I don't think we get Connor back. Because I think Connor went on I thought he went on at like Saturday. Well, didn't he test positive? It was the weekend. He tested positive for the Rona. Because I was kind of stunned. You got to wait 10 days. So if it was Saturday, is Monday 10 days? No.
Saturday 7. Yeah, you're right.
So I don't think so, dude. I don't think so.
9 days. Well, so at least we get Tuitt back. But you got to think this too. If you had to pick one of those to get back.
Oh, it's 100% Tuitt, man.
Yeah, it's Tuitt. I mean, even with Pouncey, it's Tuitt. I was impressed with the center. He wasn't too bad. I mean, again, yeah, he was. I think that even though the Ravens were depleted, they still have a good scheme, and I think you always want Pouncey out there.
But here's the thing I don't understand is like they said. Now, when Pouncey tests, what is it? Because I heard today that everything was negative. Everybody tested negative. Now, was that just? I don't know. When Pouncey tested positive, was it for that rapid test that they did before the game, or was it like a regular test?
So what they do is, I mean, depending on if you were in contact with people or you tested positive, it's 2 different things, but you can get a false positive. So you have to wait, I think, 2 days and they test you again. If it's negative, then I think you get one more test and then they consider that a false positive and you're ready to go.
So I wonder if they're going to test him tomorrow. Cause like I heard today that everybody tested negative, but I don't know if he was part of that test. I don't know.
I think they'll find out. It's very odd, and it's kind of growing as they keep rolling here. How does here's another question: how does the Dupree injury affect Bud for next year in free agency?
Everybody's saying, I mean, it's going to hurt him a little bit because you're not. I'd be stunned if he's ready during the next year. I mean, stunned, dude. You've seen people have catastrophic injuries. And NFL teams still just line up and sign dudes.
They do. Somebody's going to give him money. They're going to give him crazy money.
They're going to give him money. The team that would, in my heart to heart, where I think he's going to go, I think he's going to go to Tennessee. Tennessee's going to have a decent amount of money. Somebody replace Clowney because they're not going to keep him. I think I could see Bud landing in Tennessee. But again, we'll see. We'll see what the future's like with Bud when he doesn't have TJ Watt. on his shoulder. I mean, maybe. There's no way the Steelers could bring him back because he's not going to come back to the Steelers for making less than what he made this year.
Yeah,
on a 1-year deal. I mean, he's making $15 million this year. There's no way. I just don't see it. And I don't. Yeah. I think Clowney held off for that whole time in Tennessee, and I think they gave him a 1-year, $12 million deal. Who knows? I don't. I don't think it's going to affect him too much. Go to free agency. I just don't.
Well, you hope the dude heals, and you hope he has a good career. Whether he's with us or not. That's dope.
I mean, when you're talking at an outside backer, would you be that nervous about a knee these days? If he's a running back or receiver, or or even a running quarterback, yeah, you're an outside pass rusher.
And he's big enough. I wouldn't worry about. It's not like he's like if it was like. I mean, I think we have a real concern. We got to see what happens with Bush when he comes back. Bush is about speed.
You're right because he's. I mean, he loses his speed. He is just a small
inside linebacker. Slow. He might as well be. He might as well be Spillane. Right? Hey.
Yeah, it's a good call, Spillane. I was waiting for something smart to say, but he might not be as good as Spillane because Spillane just doesn't care about his body. I think Bush is more like, oh, listen, Bush maybe will make a couple of business decisions. Spillane doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. He's happy. He's just happy to be here.
I know if a coach told him, take your helmet off, see that brick wall over there, go just run and put your face into it as hard as possible. He'd be like, you got it, coach. And he'd do it.
Well, he probably would.
You know what's I can see Spillane like 10 years from now. He's going to be that like college linebacker coach that's headbutting all the players before they go out on the field with no helmet on. That's what he's going to be like.
Probably. I agree. Well, that does it for the Yinzer mailbag. Let's close it up. Again, if you got any questions for us, any ideas, any endorsements, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. If you're lucky enough, you'll get your question answered on this national podcast. Now, before we go to our score predictions, we have a little segment we like to bring back from time to time. Tim has this list, and Tim seems to, from time to time, have problems with pretty much everybody. So we have a segment called Tim versus the World. Some of Tim's opponents have been very well-known people. Tim has a beef with the Boy Scouts of America. The Girl Scouts are probably close behind. Various charities and organizations.
But you know what, man? I think I have solidified my beef with the Boy Scouts of America when I saw on the news that they're getting sued for a whole bunch of bad things.
They are. It's not a good time to be a Boy Scout.
Nope.
No. So Tim's latest and greatest Tim versus the World segment is Tim versus DirecTV. Versus DirecTV. Tim, tell us a little about your experience with DirecTV.
If I could, let me put it this way. The only reason I have DirecTV is because of the NFL package. If I could go 12 rounds with that dish right now, I would go outside and go 12 rounds with that dish on my roof. So some people may say this is my fault. Some people may not. I don't care. This was probably, I don't know, a little bit of time ago that we were getting some shingles done on our roof. They was understood, don't go near the dish, don't touch the dish, don't go near it. So what happens? They touch the dish, but they put the dish right back on exactly where it is. Exactly where it is. Exactly where it should be. I'm going. So is what I was told. I go to turn.
So the roofers told you they put it back exactly where it was supposed to be.
Dude, it looked like it was dead right where it's supposed to be.
Did you get up there to check it out personally?
I looked at it from a window.
Okay.
I mean, anyways, who cares? It was pretty. I mean, it's like a Lego piece. The dish fits on the house. The house, it should work.
Sure.
Fine.
It's just like Lego. Sure. Okay, keep going.
So, they leave. I go to turn the TV on. I mean, if anybody's familiar with DirecTV, if your dish goes out, you get this stupid check channel 771 and nothing pops out. So Tim got about a load of that stuff. So this is where the um, extravaganza begins. Tim makes a call to DirecTV. Well, first, before I even call DirecTV, I'm going, maybe they didn't put the dish on correctly, whatever. So I go out. I'm not on the roof, but I'm leaning out the window. Like man boob is out the window. I got a broom getting close.
Because the broom is what you want to bring out when you're dealing with finely tuned electronic equipment.
And I will say this: it wasn't like this was a. I think this was like a late July, early August day.
So you were sweating, huh?
I mean, I had no shirt on, and I mean, I think the shingles we got put on were like they were just like black. I mean, it was scorching hot. And I believe I was freshly out of the shower because I think what happened was when we turned the TV, it wasn't even me that turned it on. My wife turned it on. And this was when my wife was she was around 8 months pregnant. So
she was happy with you, huh?
Any sign of anything, it was like the lion was looking for the looking for my face. So she started, the TV's not working. Okay. So I just got a shower and take off my shirt because I know once I open that window up, the heat is going to hit me like this. People say like in Vegas when you're like it's dry heat. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to stick my face in the oven. That's dry heat. So I do that, open the window, and the heat just hits me in the face, and I'm like taking my shirt off, and I kind of like the dish looks right, and I grab a broom and I start pushing the dish.
That should fix it.
If you ever like I would think like when I looked at the dish, I thought if I like move, if I hit it with something, it would like move like a human, like a Lego. Like you just put like the thing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. It just stays there. So I'm pushing and I'm pushing harder. I'm thinking, man, I'm pushing pretty hard. This dish may fall off. But eventually I push one way and all I hear is the line downstairs go, TV's working. TV's working. I'm going, this is great. I let the broom go. TV's out. TV's out. So one thing I will let you know, I am definitely afraid of heights. So my rear end ain't climbing on that stinking roof to mess with this. I'll stick a man boob out with a broom, but I am not getting on the roof. So I call DirecTV. I don't tell them about anything about the shingles. And the
no, leave that out.
No, yeah, leave that out. So I call, and of course, I get this woman that is, I mean, many people have called these call centers. Her name is not Jennifer.
She's not Jennifer from Topeka?
No. Like she claims to be, but it's Jennifer from, I'm guessing, Bangladesh. So I'm trying to explain the situation to her. I make up just a load of crap. Just I'm talking to her. I'm like, can you guys send somebody out to just adjust this dish? Sir, we can't send somebody out until this. I think this was like a Saturday it happened. We can't send anybody out till like Monday or Tuesday. I'm going, there isn't a chance in God's creation I am not having TV until Monday or Tuesday in my house. So I flip out. We're going back and forth. I'm like, ma'am, I need this. I got family coming in. I'm making all types of crap up. And I'm getting angry. She's like, well, sir, there's no we can do. Sure, there's no we can do. And I'm getting more angry and more. By this time, my wife's downstairs. I'm in our spare bedroom and my door's closed. And I'm starting to get mad. And she just says to me, well, sir, this seems like your problem and not an our problem. Out of nowhere. It was like the thermometers that just eventually goes pop and just pops up, like the thing you hit at the amusement park where the anvil and the thing shoots up. My head goes this. Tim goes off. I start out quiet. I go, well, is it my fault when there's a cloud in the sky, the TV goes off? Is it my fault that when it's snowing, the dish goes out, or there's rain? And I just keep getting louder and louder. And I'm doing this. I'm going on for 10 minutes about this. And I'm thinking, I don't hear anything on the other side of the phone. She must have hung up on me a minute into my rant. So I am furious. I go down. My wife, this time I think Melissa comes upstairs. She's like, "Why are you yelling? Blah, blah, blah. Let me call." She calls DirecTV. And of course, she gets a gentleman by the name of Greg. And Greg is not from Topeka, Kansas either.
No, he's not.
Greg talks to Melissa. Melissa's getting somewhere with Greg. Everything's going great. Yes, we'll have somebody put an order. They'll be there tomorrow. Great, great. Melissa gets off the phone, was like, talk to Greg. Greg said someone's going to be here tomorrow between this time and this time. I'm going. I looked at Melissa and I go, I don't believe you. So I call back DirecTV myself. I get another gentleman. This gentleman, we go back and forth and he goes, "Sir, there's nothing marked on your account that he's going to be there tomorrow." I go banana lands. I'm yelling and screaming. What are you going to do for me? I'm thinking they're going to give me DirecTV for 5 years for free. And I pull, if anybody knows DirecTV and they have the NFL package, one of the biggest things you can possibly do is call DirecTV, complain that I'm going to leave, and they somehow give you something with the NFL package, some kind of discount. And I pull the NFL package card going, I don't want the package anymore. I don't want to deal with you guys anymore. Take my NFL package away. Not thinking in a million years, this dude is going to call my bluff on it. He goes, "Okay, sir, I'll take it off your stuff." I go, wait a second. Take
it easy there, Bob. Take it easy there.
I go, well, I didn't mean that. I want the NFL package. I go, is there anything you can do? This guy had me in his back pocket so bad. He basically says, "Hey, we'll credit your account for the time your cable's off until the guy comes and fix it." And it was like from like that time, Sunday to like Monday, and it was like a $5 credit. And I just sat there and I took it like the bad boy I am. I said, yeah, whatever. So I'm all fired up. I get off the phone. I come downstairs. The first thing my wife says to me goes, "Well, did you tell them what Greg told me?" I looked at her, and meanwhile, she's pregnant. I looked at her, I go, "Bleep you, bleep Greg, bleep this whole thing." So what I think I eventually ended up doing, I think I called the guys that did the stuff with the roof. They came back out, and they disconnected the dish, and they moved it around until the TV worked again. The next day, I called the dude that he was the foreman of the job. So they had like people who were doing it. I go, "Dude, your dudes mess with my TV." I think he actually came out, the foreman dude. I was like, he said, "We can't make it." I'm like, "No, you're coming out tomorrow. You're going to get back on that stupid roof and you're putting my dish on. We're going to play the, yeah, it's good game until it's right." So we played the "yeah, it's good game" for about 20 minutes until that thing was right. He had it. Once it got right on the dish, I think he did some special stuff too, where he like put the bolts and put like some rubberized outdoor stuff all over so it wouldn't move. I said, "Well, this is what we're doing." I think I told him too. I was like, "You need to spray that thing with some Pam in case the wintertime the snow gets on, it just slides right off."
That's a good
while you're
idea.
Up there.
It's a quality idea right there.
So hence is my DirecTV. I mean, there was nothing I could. Now I get so nervous that I even call DirecTV that they have my number's like on a special phone. They're like a red phone that rings. And they know that they can just bully me anytime I call.
See, now you have your wife deal with them now. As long as she's got the Greg connection, you should be fine.
I couldn't believe she said it to me. Last Greg. Did it just like that too. I go, "You mean Greg from Topeka, Kansas?"
Greg. DirecTV.
So
you're still with
TJ,
them. You're still
TJ,
with them.
I have no option. If the NFL said "Hey, we're opening this up to everybody tomorrow," I would take that dish. I would walk up. I would actually capture my fear of heights, walk on that roof, rip that dish off the roof, throw it on the ground, and I would do a happy dance up on the roof.
Yeah, DirecTV drives me crazy.
I mean, they're They are. I can't say they're the worst because Comcast is.
Comcast is bad too,
I'll
or
tell you who's bad.
Xfinity, whatever they're now.
Melissa, she had a call with Amazon today. I've already had my battles with Jeff Bezos, and he put me in my place also a couple times. Melissa had a call with him because we had a frame that was scratched when we got here, and she said, "Well, I'm calling Amazon to get this fixed." I looked at her this morning. I said, "You have fun with that." And she looked at me kind of puzzled. 20 minutes into that call, I hear from the room was like, "I'm starting to get really angry." I go, like, Jeff Bezos got you, buddy. Got you.
So that is Tim versus the world. DirecTV 1, Tim 0. Nothing.
I don't know if I've won it against any of these agencies.
I don't think you have. I mean, you held the line against the Boy Scouts of America.
We'll see. I think that kid may have a good memory where he may something may happen in my house at some point, like, I don't know, in like March.
I think he's going to show up and just take a dump right on your front porch because he knows he's on the ring just to do it.
Yeah, he might.
What would you do? What could you do?
Ask for Greg.
Greg. That's great.
Yeah.
So that's Tim versus the world again. Tim. Oh gosh, Tim, God help you. Okay, Tim, it's time for the big part of the segment. It is time for the prediction of the scores. The Steelers versus the Washington football team. What do you think the score is going to be?
Are we counting that Mike Tomlin brings in kickers this week?
I hope he doesn't.
I'm going to say, I think their offense is going to be a little bit better. So I'm going to probably say, I don't know, 28-17 Steelers.
Oh, I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say 24-10. 24-10. Tim, anything else you'd like to add to the podcast today?
I mean, I'm drained. I have no more material. Doing this 3 days in a row is tough, man.
It's brutal. It's
tough. I hope I lived up to the standard. I hope the standard is the standard.
I hope you did too. I think when Goodell makes these decisions, does he think about us?
Again, I wouldn't pee on Goodell if he was on fire.
That's just another reason to bring Harrison back.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
Just bring him back. What better? Who better to be a thorn in his side during COVID than James Harrison?
Do you think James Harrison is it humanly possible he can catch the COVID?
I don't think so. I think the COVID sees his body, and I think the COVID watches his workout videos, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with this.
I agree with you. I think the COVID is petrified of James Harrison.
I would be. Holy cow! Did you see the video of him wrestling with his kids in the pool? He's doing like suplexes and stuff, and those kids, I don't even know. He's creating a pack of wolves. I mean, they're just going to be animals.
And that sucks, dude, because I could feel. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do any of that stuff with my kid because my body is just shot. The only thing that I'm gonna be able to do is, I mean, by that time, James Harrison kids, I mean, Livia's that age. All they're gonna be able to do is change my diaper, wipe my spit.
Well, you can ask for Greg. Maybe Greg can help. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. Well, again, I'm here. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, pass it along to your friends, your neighbors, anybody. We need listeners. Please subscribe. Please like. Please spread the word.
Yeah.
Look for the Steelers Washington post game dropping late next week because we got to get this thing done because Buffalo's coming after them too.
I mean, it's just unreal, dude.
We're gonna start stretching before the podcast.
I know, man. I feel like I'm in the corner and I'm like Rocky and I'm like, cut me. Just cut me.
It's tough. Of course, it doesn't hurt. You just ate like a whole pint of custard.
I mean, I'm gonna be 500 pounds by the end of this week.
It's okay. Look for the next podcast to drop next week. Again, we're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh. Have a great night.
Still number one out here. All right.